Imagine a world where some of the most respected and admired countries for their stability, culture, and prosperity are actually on the verge of collapse. Nations that we have always seen as examples of success, such as Sweden, France, or Italy, are now facing economic challenges so severe that their long-term survival is in question. How can these economic giants be on the brink of bankruptcy? How is it possible that such advanced nations in their respective fields are caught in an economic whirlwind, threatening to undo everything they've built? Prepare to discover a shocking and surprising truth. In this video, we will explore 4 countries on the edge of economic collapse, facing critical situations with devastating consequences for their populations. You will be shocked to uncover what's really happening behind the scenes of these globally admired nations. Throughout this exploration, we will also reveal which country is experiencing the fastest economic growth right now, a situation that could potentially redefine the global order. Number 4, Portugal is struggling to recover from the recession that hit it. While the country experienced some economic growth in the early 2010s, it is still facing a colossal public debt and major structural imbalances. Key sectors of the economy, such as tourism and agriculture, have suffered significant losses due to the global financial crisis and recent health restrictions. Moreover, austerity policies imposed by the government in an attempt to stabilize the financial situation have worsened social inequalities and caused widespread discontent among citizens. The youth in particular face high unemployment, with many graduates forced to leave the country to find opportunities abroad. Portugal, once proud of its maritime and cultural heritage, now has to navigate through stormy waters, struggling to maintain its public services and ensure sustainable growth. But that's not all. A demographic crisis is looming on the horizon. The country's birth rate is plummeting, and the aging population is placing additional pressure on the healthcare and pension systems. Economists warn that unless bold reforms are undertaken quickly, Portugal could find itself in a disastrous and potentially unpayable economic situation before the end of the decade. Number 3, Italy, another pillar of the European economy, is facing a deep crisis that threatens its economic legacy. The country is a key player in the European Union, known for its large industries, art, and unparalleled cuisine. However, behind these symbols of prosperity, Italy has been suffering for years from excessive public debt, stagnating economic growth, and high unemployment, particularly among the youth. Italy's economic situation is an explosive cocktail. Long-needed economic reforms have been delayed, leaving the country vulnerable to external shocks. The banking sector is particularly fragile, with several banks struggling to stay afloat due to dubious loans. Meanwhile, regional inequalities are increasing, with the north being more prosperous and the south plunged into poverty, exacerbated by unemployment and often inefficient public management. Italian society is also shaken by internal political tensions. Unstable governments and a deeply divided political class have failed to establish a common vision for reforming the country and avoiding an even deeper crisis. The weight of public debt, the lack of structural reforms, and the failure to modernize the economy could lead Italy toward an inevitable collapse if drastic measures are not taken. Number 2, Greece, a country that has been through a decade of recession and harsh austerity measures, is still on the razor's edge. When thinking of Greece, people often imagine its beautiful beaches, ancient monuments, and millennia-old culture. However, behind this idyllic facade, the country's economic situation remains concerning. After the 2008 global financial crisis, Greece was forced to ask for massive loans from the International Monetary Fund and the European Central Bank in exchange for drastic reforms. Although the situation has partially improved, Greece remains vulnerable. The public debt remains enormous, and the country still faces significant budget deficits. Unemployment remains high, especially among the youth, and many people live in increasing poverty. The migrant crisis has also added extra pressure on the already fragile country. The lack of structural reforms and internal political tensions make the situation even more unstable, with frequent popular protests and growing discontent. Greece, despite its ability to rebound in the past, could be on the verge of entering a new phase of economic decline if urgent actions are not taken to restore long-term financial stability. Number 1. Venezuela is undoubtedly the most striking example of complete economic collapse. A country that was once one of the richest in Latin America thanks to its vast oil reserves. However, the collapse of its economy is now almost total. Since the early 2000s, the government's economic policies have been marked by a series of poor decisions, including erratic management of oil reserves, runaway inflation, and a currency in freefall. The inefficiency of economic policies has plunged the country into an unprecedented hyperinflation crisis. The exchange rate has reached catastrophic levels, with millions of Venezuelans fleeing the country in search of better living conditions. Shortages of food, medicine, and essential products are commonplace, and daily life for many citizens is marked by constant deprivation. The country is caught in a downward spiral, with an economy slowly but surely collapsing, and a ruling class struggling to meet the basic needs of its population. Venezuela is now a living warning of the disastrous consequences of catastrophic economic management. Without deep reforms and an opening to the global economy, it seems inevitable that Venezuela will continue to sink into an irreversible economic crisis. Conclusion. So you might be wondering, with all these countries on the brink of collapse, which one is currently experiencing the fastest economic growth? The answer will surprise you. It's Macau, a special region of China. Although Macau is not technically a country, its explosive growth in recent years has made it a true success story in terms of economic development. Macau benefits from an economy dominated by gambling and luxury tourism, as well as its close relationship with mainland China. Macau's growth is fueled by massive investments in the gaming industry, attracting visitors from around the world. The region continues to show brilliant prosperity, starkly contrasting with the economic challenges faced by other nations. This shows us just how quickly geopolitical and global economic dynamics can evolve. While some countries seem to be spiraling into collapse, others are experiencing an unexpected rise. The world is changing, and understanding these dynamics is crucial to prepare for the upheavals ahead.